YouTube, what it do, baby? It's your boy Expert Samurai TCG bringing you another video. Here we have footage of my pre-release deck. I had a pre-release event Friday, which I played Mono Croc. I came in 17th place out of 54. We only had 3 rounds. I lost one, but here in this video, I'm going to be going over the deck, what I played, what came up big for me. I'm going to another event Wednesday, which is today while you're watching this video. And then I'll make another video, update y'all how I did my deck. I also have a box opening video coming after this, and I also have that footage coming from Friday as well. So if you're not subscribed, man, subscribe to the channel, like the video, follow me on Twitch where I do all of my streaming at @expresssamurai_. Y'all have a good day. These sleeves. Did you win locals? Nah. It was a pre-release it was a pre-release event today. So basically what they do is when a new set is about to come out, right? Everybody, you buy in, right? You buy into the tournament. Everybody gets 6 packs of the newest box, and you build a random deck with 40 cards instead of 50. And so 54 players tonight came out. My locals was only doing 3 rounds. I'm pretty sure everybody else did 4 or 5, but my locals only did 3 rounds and 4 life. And top 10 won a pre-release Luffy. So I went 2-1, only lost 1 game, and I placed 17th out of 54. And it was crazy because the deck that I lost because I miscalculated. Like I did all the math and everything. I'm like, oh, he can't kill me, but the sequence in which I took the attacks was wrong. So that was that sucked. But I mean, I played good. I played out of my mind tonight, though. Besides that one little mistake, man, costed me though. But I played good. Yeah, the mat is fire. The mat is fire. So I pulled some cool cards already, right? And I'll flip these over in a minute, but just to do a little recap over my deck, right? So my deck was completely random except my leader. So I brought Croc, and I know it's a little small, right? But basically, 5K leader, right? Once per turn, I can go Dun -4. That means just put 4 Dun back to the Dun deck, and I can return 1 character with 5 or less to the owner's hand. And boy, this effect was cracked, especially in a format like this where everybody's like rushing to kind of like put down their cards, because most cards cost most of the powerful cards in this format cost like 5K. I mean 5 costs, right? There are 5 costs, 6 costs, and I don't think there was any 7 costs, but for the most part it was those 5s. And I would use this effect. I'll build my board, drop down Kaido, bounce 2 cards back, use this effect, bounce another card back. Like, they can't recover because it's too fast. Like, the tempo is crazy. One game I had Croc, I had Randolph, I had Kuro, I had Diamante, and I had the barracks work. I forgot her name, but I'll show her because I'm gonna go over the deck I made. And so just to go over the deck I made, right? I had, let me see, because I really don't want this glare to be in here. If you wonder what I'm doing, I'm tapping my webcam so the light can come on. But now it's not coming on. Okay, there we go. So one of the big cards that I had, 5 cost, 6K, Chinjao. Basically done -1 when his character battles and KO one of your opponent's characters. You draw 2, ditch 2, so it just fixed my hand. Wait, so when did you start bouncing? I started bouncing. I didn't bounce till my 10 done turn. But I think it was a game though where after I played Kuro, then I bounced, because at that point I didn't think I was gonna see Kaido. But the game that I pulled Kaido, I waited till my 10 done turn. So So I would say yeah, after my 8 done turn mostly. 6 or 8 done turn is when I started bouncing. If my board was complete too, if I had like my leader in like 2 or 3 big units or two big units in a blocker, I started bouncing. But this was just another big card. I didn't get to use him at all though. I think I just used him for the 1K counter. Um, Bartholomew, one of my only 2Ks. Yeah, it's done -4. I only had 5. I think I had like 5 or 6 2K counters, and Bartholomew's one of them. I think I pulled 2 of him. But he's a cheap blocker. That's all. 3 cost blocker and 2K counter power, so he's flexible. Charlotte Bavro, cheap card, 3 cost 4K. But if you put 1 done on him, and if I have less life, then he gets the extra 1K power. So basically, he goes to 6. But I didn't get to use him though. Didn't get to use him, but another 1K counter, because counter in this game or counter in this format was scarce. But everything I played in my deck had at least 1K counter, so I had it, but I just yeah, man, I just miscalculated in one game. 2 pounds. This card is so good. It's another blocker, but when it's KO'd, I can place a 3 or less either to the top or bottom of somebody's life. So it's also removal. I did play this. I think I played this every game except one. Sanji, another good blocker. 4 costs, 5K, so he's flexible. Can attack with him also. But I didn't get to trigger him off life, and I don't think I've played him either. He just didn't come up. But I wish he was on my life. Every game I looked at my life, and Sanji just was never there. Another 2K counter. Yeah, and that's also a good pull. So I'm definitely just gonna slide that up there. Hiyori, cheap 2K. Didn't play her. Didn't need her for anything. I just need her for 2K, and she did come up. 2 Diamantes. This card was so cracked. Diamante is so cracked. 5K, no, 5 costs, 6K, right? And he's a blocker. But also, if you have a done on him, that means he becomes 7K. But if you have a done on him, he can turn himself back active if you have 2 done that's active. So what I did with this, I played him, I think, every game except one. What I did with him was I played the other Doflamingo card that lets you keep 1 card active at the end of your turn, and I always kept 1 done active. And so I would swing with 7K and just restand him every time. And my opponent literally couldn't do anything about that. And then I got Croc, so I was just bouncing. Like, I'll swing, hit him for 7 because he wasn't countering it, and then bounce one of his cards back. And matter of fact, here you go right here, Dellinger. So I would set this combo up real fast. I think every game I went first except one, and I chose to go first because I knew I had these cards on curve. Yep, I played him every turn on turn 3. Swing for 5, then played him. Stood them duns up. I had so many events too. And I think all of them had counter power. So that was a good little combo for that. Another 4 cost that I played, Orlumbus. I didn't get to play. I don't think I got to play Orlumbus, but I did use him for counter though. So I did use him for the 1K counter. On my turn, you can give one of your opponent's characters -4. Then trash 2 cards from my deck, and then KO one of my Dressrosa types. That's why. I mean, he would just been a 4 cost vanilla basically, but I didn't get to play him at all. But just in case I needed to, I wanted him. Cavendish. I did play Cavendish. I remember I played Cavendish, and I put 1 done on him. I had swung, I think, at his blocker. He had a blocker standing. I think it was the purple 3 cost. And I had knocked out, I had KO'd one of his other 1 costs on field. I was playing a Zoro player. So he came up clutch for me because I played 2 Zoros. And you know Zoro want to buff the weenies, so I got a 2-for-1 with this. So that was clutch. This card right here was MVP for me game 3. I played against a category, and this is Miss Golden Week. So on play, if your leader type includes Baroque Works, which it does because I was playing Croc, up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less cannot attack until the start of your next turn. This was cracked. I had so my opponent had played, I forgot what that card name is, but basically the card that can restand himself. He's a 4 cost. And after he played that, I drew her, played it. He couldn't attack until my next turn, so he was frozen. And he also had a Peril Sparrow on field. So that card was frozen because of this. The next turn came back, right? I think we both, it was like playing a game of chicken. He didn't attack me. I drew into Kaido, 10 cost Kaido. I played Kaido. I bounced back his Peril Sparrow. I bounced back his Pound. And then I did leader ability, and I sent that card back to his hand. We was talking about that in the Discord. I forgot that card's name. Let me see. Oh, Daddy Masterson. Daddy Masterson. So he never got the value out of Daddy Masterson that he thought he was going to get. All he did was basically waste done. And that was a lot of my opponents today, especially when they played those 5 cost beaters. Bro, I know they was sick. This card, so clutch. The weak do not have the right to choose how they die. 5 cost event, Doflamingo. It's generic, but basically, Don Quixote Pirate card, right? So is it you can use this in your as in your main, right? Or you can use it as a counter. And you can rest up to one of your opponent's leaders or characters, then KO up to one of your opponent's rested characters with the cost of 6 or less. Now, this card won me a game because my opponent had a Diamante. This is the same opponent that I bounced back, the Daddy Masterson. He had a Diamante standing. I drew into this. I played this card, rested it, and then popped it. And then I just swung for game. And there was nothing he can do. It was nothing he could do. So, I only played this card one time though. It did come up for me in another game, the game with the Cavendish. But because I used Cavendish effect, I had to trash 2 cards on top of my deck, and I would have top decked it. But I mean, I didn't need it. I didn't need it at all. Skyrim, appreciate the follow, man. Another 2K counter. Gyats. On play, one of your Dressrosa type characters can attack after characters. I didn't have any. Well, the only Dressrosa character I had was Orlumbus. I had Orlumbus, but I didn't get to play Orlumbus, so it didn't even matter. For my thick boys, them vanilla boys, Randolph, man, I dropped him like twice, and it was just nothing my opponent can do. I dropped Randolph, right? I had Randolph on one game. I had Roki. I had Randolph and Roki on the same game. Yep, I played Croc. I played Blue Croc, went 2-1. My locals only did a 3-round. Yep. Played these two, man. It was over. My opponent literally scooped. He was like, all right, bro, it's nothing I could do. Super Spot Build Deck Troops. Did not play this at all. This is just another 2K counter. I think I only had like 6 2K counters, right? But what I made up for it is with my events. Nest Palm Cannon. I want to say I used this once. And I think it was against the Zoro player. So basically, right, counter up to one of your leaders or character gains 6,000 power during this battle. Then if you have 2 or less life cards, you can ramp 1 down. So this card was actually this card was actually clutch for me because I didn't have that many 2K counters. But the rest of my deck was 1K counters. But having stuff like this was actually clutch. And then having a board with two of these, like I could play so many events, like it didn't even matter. Dragon Twister actually came up for me today versus the Zoro player. I think he played a baby. It was baby 5 and Sanji. Yeah, so he started. I think it's done 3 turns. So that's turn 2. He played both of those, and then he tried to swing for, or was it his 4th done turn? Basically, he swung at me, bounced his back, so took out his board. Barrier was also good. Barrier is cheap. 1 cost event, counter up to 1. I mean, up to 1 of your leaders or character gains plus 2,000 power during this battle. Then if you have 15 or more cards in your trash, that card gains an additional 2K power. So this is basically a Radical Beam, Black Radical Beam. Again, with Dellinger, this card was... Man, Dellinger just set up all my plays, man. I'm telling you, Dellinger was so good today. This cheap little event, man, was helping. Another event that I played, Happiness Punch. 1 cost again, another cheap counter. Give up to 1 of your opponent's leaders or characters negative 2,000 power during this turn. Then if your leader is active, give up to 1 of your opponent's leaders or characters another 1,000 power during this turn. So I was getting busy with the cheap events. Another cheap event. Weakness is an unforgivable sin. Counter none -1 up to 1 of your leaders or character gains 1,000 power during this turn. So just in case if I had some cards in my hand that didn't have no power, or I needed to stack some cards to get a 3K, 2K, because my opponents was swinging at me. I played category and I played against Zoro. They was swinging for 7, and the Zoro player was being mad aggressive. He was swinging for 9. Baby 5, I didn't play Baby 5, but I could have comboed her because at the end of your turn, you can trash her and set up till you're done as active, and that's another way I could have kept Diamante standing, but I just used her for a 2K. My opponent actually played that card and used that effect at the end. One of my big boy blockers, Mr. 4. On your opponent's attack, done -1. This character gains blocker and 1K power during this battle. So boys for sure was man, when I tell you I had the board on lock, I don't think I got a chance to play him though. So he was there just in case. Another cheap blocker, Ido. 2 cost, 2K, 1K counter. Another cheap blocker. He didn't come up. Frankie came up for me today though. Didn't play him. Didn't need to. Just another 2K counter. I literally remember all my 2K counters. I think I had 5. So it was Frankie. It was Bartholomew. It was what was that girl we passed up? The little red bird. Yeah, he came up. He came up clutch. Then I had 3 of these. I had a pre-release one of these as well. But I gave it to one of my boys who had gave me some cards last week, so returned the love. But I had 3 of these. Yokozuna, 3 cost blocker, done -1. Return it to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 2 or less to the owner's hand. Bro, when I tell you I got all like the Barrack Root cards and the Water 7 stuff, man, it came up clutch for me. So that was a really good card I used. Mr. 3, another Barrack Works card. I thought about playing him. I think doing that Zoro match, but I think I just kept him in my hand for counter. And basically on my opponent's turn, I can go down -1, give it to one of my opponent's characters, -1,000. I think my opponent had that the Zoro player that I lost to. He had Cavendish on board. He froze me with Doflamingo. He had hit my Yokozuna with Bastard Truanado. And yeah, it had got real at that point. Another 2K, Beige. He came up only as 2K though. I wish I would have had his trigger. Him or Sanji was in life for me today, but it's still good. Though I got value out of him. 2K counter power, can't beat that. Sparrow won me a game today. It was just nothing they could do. Too thick. 6 cost, 8K power. I had him and Randolph on board on one game. Jack, just in case I went early. Cheap 2 costs on my second. If I went second, I think the turn I did go second. The only game I did play him, but I think I attacked him to a pound, and he had put him on the bottom of my life, which came in clutch for me because he healed me, and after that I just guarded out of everything because my board was set. I could have protected everything, and so I was chilling. And then the last boy that put in work for me, Kuro, another vanilla. 6 costs, 8K power. I did play him today, and he won. He won me the second game. So I don't think I didn't play him on curve though. I think I played him on my Dawn 8 turn. Because I think I had went wide the turn before that, because I had one of those events in my hand, and I knew if I played him I wasn't gonna be able to protect my life. I think I was like down to 2 life that game, so I just waited till the next turn to where I could have some flexibility and played him. I did pull Kaido MVP to the deck. On play, return up to 1 character with the cost of 8 or less, and up to 1 character with the cost of 3 or less to the owner's hand. This card was too good, and this, especially paired with my leader, this card was too good. This card was way too good. I think I only played it 1 time though. Yeah, I played it 1 time. It was the last game against Katakuri, and he scooped. Yeah, my opponent scooped. He was like, bro, it's nothing I can do. So he was like, you got it. I was like, thanks, bro. Because I was sitting there like, yeah, let me make sure I have enough so I can hit him. And I did pull the alt done VV. And I